Ever since I started this, making one video every day, I think the rings under my eyes has gotten a bit darker. Not much sleep.
Yeah.
So we're on day 11 now. This has taken its toll on me. I have my regular job, then I have my family. Then I'd have to do all the filming and the editing, and filming during the day when I have the time for it, and editing during the evening or night. Then go to bed at 1, 2 a.m. to get up again at 6. It's taken its toll. I don't know how Casey did it for so long. It's been raining for several days. I'm so tired of it, but no, now look, there is the sun. Hopefully we get a little bit sun today and tomorrow, then it's going to start raining again. Today I thought we could do a comparison between this camera, the Canon M6 Mark II, and the new Canon EOS R10 that I'm filming on right now. I think we can take a look at the autofocus features of these two cameras to see how the M6 Mark II stacks up against the new R10, and if the R10 has better autofocus features than the older M6 Mark II. I also want to take a look at image stabilization, because none of these two cameras has IBIS in the camera, but both of them has digital image stabilization, so that could be a fun, interesting comparison too. So that's what we're going to try and do now. Now, I don't know how the R10 that we are testing first here works, but this is without the glasses, so let's move a little bit around to see if it captures me, finds me, turn around, see if it loses me or not. A little bit quick movement here, because I'm fast as the lightning. Down, up, no, not. And let's go a little bit out of frame and then back in. Turn around, move a little bit. See how that works. Yeah. And now we're on the Canon M6 Mark II to see how that works. First time without the glasses. I have had troubles with the autofocus system with glasses earlier, so yeah. Let's try and move a little bit around. Move back and forth. See if it is any good. Just slightly a bit out of frame and then back in. See if it captures me. Yeah. Watching back at this footage, you can clearly see that the EOS R10 has a better autofocus than the Canon M6 Mark II. That's not to say that the Canon M6 Mark II is bad, but the R10 managed to capture the eye a lot more than the M6 Mark II. The M6 Mark II only captures the face, while the EOS R10 gets the eye almost all the time. So I would definitely say that the EOS R10 has a better autofocus system than the M6 Mark II. But the M6 Mark II, it's not bad. It does capture the face, so yeah. Now let's take a look at the image stabilization. So this has to be the ultimate vlogging camera kit. I have my M6 Mark II hooked up to the Atomos Ninja 5, and I'm using the Deity wireless microphone system. And for the lens, I'm using a Canon EF-S 10 to 18mm with the Canon EF to EOS M adapter on the Canon M6 Mark II. Now we're going to start off without any image stabilization in the camera. I have turned off the image stabilization in the lens, and now we're just going to try walking and to see how this looks. Like I said, this is without any image stabilization. Damn, this is a heavy setup. And this is how it looks without any image stabilization. As you can see, it's a bit shaky. Now, as we turn on the image stabilization, you have two different kind of levels when it comes to digital image stabilization in the camera. You have enabled and enhanced. So let's try the enabled to see if there is any difference in that. And now we have the image stabilization enabled, and it is a heavy setup, so I had to change hands. But here we are walking with the image stabilization enabled, and as you can see, it has a little bit more crop to it. That is to give the camera a chance to do its magic when it comes to stabilizing the image. And if we go up to the enhanced version of the image stabilization, you will see that it's going to be cropped in even more. Now, as you can see with the autofocus, as me walking here, you can't find my eye, you can only find my face. But if I take off the glasses, boom, there's my eye. So this is what I have been talking about. The autofocus system with the older Canon cameras doesn't do a good job when it comes to glasses. So it doesn't look like it did a good job with the eye, even when I was really close to the camera. But anyway, this is the image stabilization test. Now we have done the enabled one, now we're going to do the enhanced one. And now we have the enhanced image stabilization turned on, and as you can see, this is the most cropped in as we get. And let's try take that for a walk to see if there is any difference between these. Now remember, all of these is just with the Canon M6 Mark II, but I'm going to compare them later on to see if there is any difference. Now that I am closer to the camera because of the crop, when it comes to the autofocus, it seems to find my eye. So yeah, it's a little bit back and forth between the eye and head autofocus. Anyway, this is the me just holding the rig like that. And now we're going to try the Canon EOS R10 to see if there is any improvement. So now we have the same setup with the Canon EOS R10. I have the Atomos Ninja 5 connected on top with the Deity wireless microphone system and the Canon EF-S 10 to 18mm at 10mm. So now we are going to try without the image stabilization turned on at all. And I am going to try and hold the camera as steady as I can. Now this is normally a little bit lighter because I have the Atomos Ninja 5 on top. So my hands may be just a tiny bit more shaky than what it needs to be. But anyway, it is as it is. So this is me walking without any image stabilization turned on the camera. Trying to hold it as steady as I can. Hoping you find this information interesting. And now we have turned the image stabilization on. As you can see, there is a slight crop to the image. Still at 10mm on the lens. And if you take a look at the autofocus, this camera has no problem finding my eye. It's actually switching between the eyes as I am turning my head, which is really interesting. Now, how does the image stabilization look? Now I have only turned it on, so yeah, let's see how that works. So now I'm going to try the enhanced mode to see how that works. And right away we can see that the camera did quite the crop from before, but the question is, does it help on the image stabilization? I'm going to try one more time changing hands to see if that has anything to do with it. So let's try the left one to see if that has anything to do with it. Maybe it's just me being tired. I don't know. I am interested in trying out the R7 when that arrives, because I am getting that too, so I want to do a comparison between the R10 and the R7 also. Anyway, this has been the image stabilization test footage, so let's try and see how it looks, shall we? So looking at this image or footage of the image stabilization, I can't say that there is any difference between the M6 Mark II and the R10. It looks a lot the same in my eyes. So to do a summary, when it comes to autofocus, there is an improvement in the R10. The eye autofocus is a lot better, and I guess that's normal with a new camera. But when it comes to the image stabilization, I believe that the digital image stabilization in these two cameras, the M6 Mark II and the R10, are basically just the same. What do you think? Do you agree? If you have any comments to the footage that you've seen today, please leave them in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I guess that's it for this video. So maybe I will see you tomorrow. Bye.